I said sit down. Sit down. Somebody grab that poor lady who passed out. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So congratulations to Joe Biden, who signed with the Hollywood powerhouse agency, CAA. He's already landed the lead in the reboot of The Walking Dead. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris just signed a deal to get her old job back. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum made a deal with Trump to pause tariffs and put 10,000 Mexican troops on the border. And the best part is they all fit in one car. Oh, you laugh at that? Ilhan Omar slammed Trump for wanting to shut down the USAID agency, who she credited with getting her family to America. Even more, they were able to get her brother and her husband here on one ticket. Gen Z gun control activist David Hogg has been elected as vice chair of the DNC. In the next 5 years, his goals are to get rid of ICE, the NRA, and his virginity. After 20 wonderful years, Chuck Todd has left NBC News. He plans to take some time to... Wow, way to ruin my joke. He plans to take some time to enjoy what's left of his hairline. Kanye West's wife, Beyonce Sensori, appeared in a see-through outfit at the Grammys, making viewers grateful that West isn't married to Hillary Clinton. Terrible. On Friday, anti-ICE protesters burned the American flag, the country they want to stay in, and then waved the Mexican flag, the country they don't want to return to. It's weird. That's like cheating on your girlfriend with your wife.
Yeah, Jamie, you don't nod on that one. That's not a nod.
Think about it.
You didn't learn that at nod school.
And finally, cattle auctions could be coming to an end at America's last big city stockyard. Now, if you want to place a bid on live cattle, you got to come to New York City. You're so mean. I wouldn't do those jokes if you didn't love them. So Trump had quite a weekend. While the rest of us mowed lawns, watched a game, or called ICE on Selena Gomez. What was he doing? The usual. Carved out millions of government waste, started cleaning out a corrupt DOJ, got Venezuela to take back their gangbangers, persuaded Panama to drop the sweetheart deal with China, got Mexico and Canada in line to fight the fentanyl trade, got 10,000 new Mexican military personnel sent to the border. Plus, he ordered 17 pizzas to Stormy Daniels' house under the name Still a Loser. That's quite a weekend. All I did was rescue those college gymnasts from a makeshift dungeon at my lake house. Wow.
Not a big fan of serial killing. Huh?
Yeah.
Captain Crunch, no? All right.
But it begs comparison between the old and the new. Here's the new guy. Yeah, compare that. All right. Compare that to the old. So, is this a new golden age? And I don't mean the pee stains Joe left on the Oval Office rug. The thing is, with Trump getting so much done so fast, you got to wonder, what was the holdup? What was stopping us? Was the prices right on? But maybe it's not just that Trump's making the moves. It's that most of us didn't know these moves were even possible. I mean, who knew America could actually get big stuff done anymore? It's like if Stephen Hawking's wife woke up one day and found the kitchen spotless.
Ha! Oh, come on.
He would have laughed. It would have sounded weird, but he would have laughed.
Yeah, it's not like he was going to get up and kick your ass when he made the joke.
I mean, did any of us know that the Chinese had locked up a deal with the Panamac anal until Trump called it out? Or that Venezuela had American hostages until Trump freed them? Or that China was shipping in billions of cheap goods under something called the de minimis loophole, which provided cover for fentanyl smuggling? I mean, what's a de minimis loophole? I had no idea. It sounds like a sex act from Star Wars. One thing you could say about the Trump administration, they're terrible at keeping government secrets. And it's beautiful, because suddenly we're all learning a hell of a lot that we didn't know before. For instance, we can reduce 6,000 border crossings a day to under 600. I haven't seen numbers drop like that since Whoopi got on Ozempic. Did you know there are more suspects on the terror watch list coming from Canada than Mexico? Did you know Canada is a major source of fentanyl entering the country? Did you know Canadian bacon is just mediocre ham? I know I didn't, and I'm the voice of a generation. I thought the only horrible thing Canada ever gave us was Seth Rogen. Then there's Ukraine. Trump just told Zelensky that if he expects our cash, then we get the rare earth metals. You know, the metals essential to our iPhones, lithium batteries, and Lil Wayne's teeth. So that's new. Hell, all Joe Biden got out of Ukraine was a fake job for his son. And the same goes for Greenland. Have you really ever thought about Greenland? Trump did. Suddenly we find out it's key to securing America's future shipping. Where the hell has all this intel been? Was it sitting in that file near Biden's Corvette? Just like the one with the addresses of all the rapists, murderers, and human traffickers that ICE has suddenly been able to round up? And don't get me started with NGOs. Until Trump came along, I thought an NGO was something I picked up from a stripper on spring break. Then there's USAID. It sounds like a patriotic sports drink. Turns out it's yet another federal agency none of us knew about, which sent $1 billion of our cash to Gaza, money that apparently went to Hamas. I guess ISIS only took Venmo. They also spent millions in DEI on places like Serbia, Peru, Guatemala, and paid for a transgender opera in Colombia. What was that called? Madam Butterfly has a They helped the Taliban make heroin, which they then spent on sluttier goats. And let's not forget, they also helped fund a certain Chinese lab in Wuhan, which I think cancels all the humanitarian aid USAID claimed to provide. So anyway, Trump's been in charge a few weeks, and we're suddenly getting a truth tidal wave. Love him or hate him, there's no denying, Trump is where government secrets go to die. And you can follow all of it, but only if you can keep up with the guy. Good luck with that. Let's welcome tonight's guest. His kids still haven't given him a forwarding address. Actor and writer, comedian Jamie Lissow. There aren't many who are brighter than this very thoughtful writer, attorney Julian Epstein. Her maternity is taking an eternity. New York Times bestselling author and Fox News contributor Kat Tube. And Greenland is his ice pack. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor, comedian, and the former NBA World Champion. Jamie, so when you hear about Trump's weekend, you must feel even more worthless than you already feel. I mean, what are your weekends? You take one of your estranged kids to McDonald's, sit in a parking lot?
Yep, me, him, and the cop. I really felt productive this weekend. All I did was put my garbage at the street, and then I watched those guys take it.
Yes.
And I was like, that feels good. Isn't it fun, though, to watch the left go crazy like, oh, my God, the president's doing stuff. I didn't know the president was allowed to do stuff. I thought we just Googled him every day to find out if he was still alive. Like, it's fascinating to watch. He's done so many things in, what's it been, just over a week. Do you know when they asked Biden, when he took office, do you remember, they asked him what he wanted for his first executive order, and he said, cream of wheat.
Is there going to be a time that we retire the Joe Biden jokes?
I hope so, only because that means we won't have heard from him. But until then, these haven't expired yet, Greg. They have not.
Julian,
expired.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How do the Democrats deal with this? Because you keep hearing that they're kind of overwhelmed.
Well, first, thanks for having me on the show. Democrats deal with this the same way they've been dealing with almost everything else the last 10 years, which is a lot of contempt, a lot of disdain, and a lot of ad hominem name-calling. When you swim in a culture long enough, you don't notice the culture. But this is all the Democrats stand for. They don't build anything anymore. It used to be a party that built things. Look at what happened in Los Angeles. Look at what happened with the train system here in New York. Supposed to be done in 2009, started in 2009, still hasn't started. Democrats have lost the ability to build, and all they do is sort of complain and issue contempt citations. It's about all they do. Trump, on the other hand, this has been remarkable what he's done. I mean, it shows that he does what he promised he would say he would do, which is very refreshing for the American people. It shows an incredible business-like efficiency, and it shows strength. You know, like him or hate him, Donald Trump is a strong guy, and even a very strong guy and a strong leader. And even when there were lots of sort of complaints, even from places like the Wall Street Journal and conservative quarters about tariffs, he doesn't back down. And American people like somebody that doesn't back down. So it's quite a contrast between strength on the one hand showed by Trump and contempt by the Democrats, which the American people don't like.
Yeah, in fact, it's like it's so strange that things are actually happening at this speed, Kat. Do you think Donald Trump is on something?
I don't actually.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't
That
actually.
was a trap to set you up.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's exactly what I need. A trap. You know, I think that what's been the most remarkable has just been the light that's been shined on a lot of different things and kind of allowing people to think differently about stuff. Because I feel like before, I mean, it really is remarkable. You know that our tax dollars, we pay so much that, you know, we get so little, but just how stupid some of the stuff is. When you hear something like foreign aid, you could never criticize that, right? Because what comes to mind when you hear foreign aid?
Humanitarian.
You hear the kid, right?
Yeah, the kid.
The kid in the pile of rubble with like a little tin can.
Yes.
That they put oatmeal in, right? And you're like, who would take this from this kid?
Yeah.
You would be a monster. But then you realize that okay, they're also funding, you know, whatever diversity training in Serbia or whatever else, all this other stuff. So actually just shining a light on these things, I think in and of itself is a remarkable thing because and I hope that this happens across departments. The Defense Department as well, they fail every audit. I mean, we need to look at what kind of stuff that money's actually being spent on and not just relying on the positive branding that a lot of these words bring to mind.
Yeah, it's a great point. Oh,
one person's like, hell yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
Tyrus, it is a good point. It seems like Trump's administration is almost doing the work of investigative journalists should have done.
Well, that would have been nice, but, you know, journalists, good luck finding them or a dodo. President Trump learned a lot from not being in the office.
Yeah.
And the one thing he learned from the first time is that even when you get in, the fight just begins. And so many times when presidents have had the Senate and the House, they think they had time. They could spread things out, and we can get a win here, and then we can get a win there. No. And before they know it, they don't have the House anymore. So everything ends up getting shut down and slowed down. He's not going to allow that to happen because, and what he's doing and the way he's doing it, I refer to him as a third black president, but he is also the most arrogant black brother I have ever met in my life. And he knows, he's completely aware that everyone's going to find a way, and eventually they're going to get to a couple of these Republicans. You know, when the lobbyists, they're eventually going to get to a couple of Republicans, and all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, I'm more conservative and I have issues with this. It always happens. So he's doing it now when they can't because everyone's watching and he's showing the show. And then he has time to send a text on a Saturday night like, yo, guess who filled Kelly up with water, Tyrus, and with pictures. I'm like, how do you have time for this? Because he's not sleeping.
Yeah.
He knows he's got 100 days to do what he needs to do. And you made a joke about a month ago, and I think at 2 years, he might be like, I'm done.
Yeah, 3
JD,
months.
it's yours.
Yeah.
Deuces, I'm out. I'll be golfing. Call me. Because he knows. No, I think that's the plan, is to get it done because he doesn't have to run for re-election.
And we've never seen anything like this before. I mean, it's very, to Iris's point, it's very gangster.
Yeah.
I mean, politicians by their nature say, let's do a commission, study something for 6 months,
Yes.
and then we'll think about getting it done. Trump says, F that. I'm getting it done today.
Because the swamp will fight back.
Yeah, you do it like the Republicans would take their time, like they're like it's like one chef working on an 8-course meal, and he's like McDonald's, just flinging the burgers into your face, into your fat faces. All right, I don't know why I said fat faces. I apologize. You're all very svelte, too svelte.